Hello, mate.
Morning, James. The word I want to bring into the conversation is that of effect.
Yeah.
And it's a double-edged sword, this, when it comes to what is essentially a data or a intelligence breach, and in this case, it's intelligence. So what I want to say is, right, look, there's a lot of really, really brave people out there in the world that are doing good for our country and to preserve the way of life we live and what have you, in security services. And what I'm saying is it's a double-edged sword, because whilst we are concerned about the way in which that could affect their role and possibly endanger their lives, I think the decision by Rishi is also a big concern for me, because have we thought about the effect upon the individual who's basically made the breach? Because that person has just made themselves extremely vulnerable and to blackmail and what have you. So the issue about, I agree with the issue about self-resignation. That should have been an instant, but there should be some advisors now, and I imagine that Richie's really bogged down with all the other plethora of issues.
There's a lot on his desk, certainly.
Yeah, but the point is, this should be, hang on a minute, you need to deal with this one. We've got the situation. You've just appointed this man. This person has committed a data breach. It is serious. It's still being investigated. And you've got a duty of care, Prime Minister, over this member of staff who you've just appointed, because that person is now extremely vulnerable to blackmail. And
the Home Secretary is responsible for signing off surveillance warrants and other highly classified functions of Britain's spy agencies, as well as for the UK's counter-terrorism policy.
Well, exactly that. And when we talk about effects, I know I've experienced the wrong information, the wrong intelligence coming through, and that cost myself, five of my colleagues were killed. I worked in the military during the Troubles in Northern Ireland, so I know what it's like to be on the forefront of that, and it is a serious matter. But I just want to raise something else as well. If you've got a very, very serious, heavy piece of intelligence that you release, it might only have a small effect. This is why I say effect. However, don't take for granted, James, the issue, that if it's a minor breach and we apologise, that could still be the catalyst in a series of information which leads to a massive effect detrimental to health and safety. So intelligence breaches, that's why legislation's there, and we've got to follow it. But I do think it's a poor error of judgment on Rich's part to put this Member of Parliament back into a position where they're extremely vulnerable, and the level and degree of intelligence that person will be seeing, undoubtedly, I wouldn't want to think again that I had people dealing with the intelligence that was coming to me for me to perform what I did over there, and it's cost me my career and my mental health.
You want to have complete confidence in the chain of command. That's the best way of putting it. And she was sending it to someone's wife. I mean, these documents were not anywhere near as sensitive as the ones that you've been talking about, but it's a matter of principle, isn't it? And sending it to someone's wife and accidentally sending it to somebody else, not even, it beggars belief. And in fact, relevant to some of what you said, another thing Jake Berry said last night was that it included documents on cyber security that she is, for reasons that I don't understand, sending to colleagues. And indeed, well, you could say the world and his wife, except she didn't send it to his wife. She accidentally sent it to somebody else entirely. Thank you, Tim. I'm sorry to hear about your own struggle.